Matthew 6:16-18. Moreover, when you fast, don't be like the hypocrites with sad faces, for they disfigure their faces, that they may be seen by men to be fasting. Most certainly, I tell you, they have received their reward. But you, when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that you are not seen by men to be fasting, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Joel 2:12-13. Yet even now, says Yahweh, turn to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. Tear your heart and not your garments, and turn to Yahweh, your God. For he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and abundant in loving kindness. Mark 9:28-29. When he had come into the house, his disciples asked him privately, "Why couldn't we cast it out?" He said to them, "This kind can come out by nothing except by prayer and fasting." Joel 1:14. Sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land to the house of Yahweh your God, and cry to Yahweh. Acts 13:2-3. As they served the Lord and fasted, the Holy Spirit said, "Separate Barnabas and Saul for me, for the work which I have called them." Then, when they had fasted and prayed and laid their hands on them, they sent them away. Isaiah 58:5-14. Is this the fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to humble his soul? Is it to bow down his head like a reed, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under himself? Will you call this a fast, and an acceptable day to Yahweh? Isn't this the fast that I have chosen? To release the bonds of wickedness, to undo the straps of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke? Isn't it to distribute your bread to the hungry, and that you bring the poor who are cast out to your house? When you see the naked, that you cover him, and that you not hide yourself from your own flesh? Then your light will break out as the morning, and your healing will appear quickly. Then your righteousness shall go before you, and Yahweh's glory will be your rear guard. Then you will call, and Yahweh will answer. You will cry for help, and he will say, "Here I am." If you take away from among you the yoke, finger-pointing and speaking wickedly, and if you pour out your soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then your light will rise in darkness, and your obscurity will be as the noonday. And Yahweh will guide you continually, satisfy your soul in dry places, and make your bones strong. You will be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters don't fail. Those who will be of you will build the old waste places. You will raise up the foundations of many generations. you will be called repairer of the breach, restorer of paths with dwellings. If you turn away your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, and the holy of Yahweh honorable, and honor it, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasure, nor speaking your own words, then you will delight yourself in Yahweh, and I will make you to ride on the high places of the earth, and I will feed you with the heritage of Jacob your father, for Yahweh's mouth has spoken it. Esther 4:15-16. Then Esther asked them to answer Mordecai, "Go, gather together all the Jews who are present in Susa, and fast for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I and my maidens will also fast the same way. Then I will go to the king, which is against the law, and if I perish, I perish." Ezra 8:21-23. Then I proclaimed a fast there, at the river Ahava, that we might humble ourselves before our God, to seek from him a straight way for us, and for our little ones, and for all our possessions. For I was ashamed to ask of the king a band of soldiers and horsemen to help us against the enemy on the way, because we had spoken to the king, saying, "The hand of our God is on all those who seek him for good, but his power and his wrath is against all those who forsake him." So we fasted and begged our God for this, and he granted our request. Luke 2:36-38. There was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel, of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age, having lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity, and she had been a widow for about 84 years, who didn't depart from the temple, worshipping with fastings and petitions night and day. Coming up at that very hour, she gave thanks to the Lord and spoke of him to all those who were looking for redemption in Jerusalem. Matthew 9:14-17. Then John's disciples came to him, saying, "Why do we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples don't fast?" Jesus said to them, "Can the friends of the bridegroom mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast. No one puts a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, for the patch would tear away from the garment, and a worse hole is made. Neither do people put new wine into old wineskins, or else the skins would burst, and the wine be spilled, and the skins ruined too. No, they put new wine into fresh wineskins, and both are preserved." Nehemiah 1:4-6. When I heard these words, I sat down and wept, and mourned several days. And I fasted and prayed before the God of heaven, and said, "I beg you, Yahweh, the God of heaven, the great and awesome God, who keeps covenant and loving kindness with those who love him and keep his commandments. Let your ear now be attentive and your eyes open, that you may listen to the prayer of your servant, which I pray before you at this time. Matthew 4, 1-4. Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. When he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry afterward. The tempter came and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread." But he answered, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of God's mouth." Psalm 35:13. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I afflicted my soul with fasting. Daniel 10:2-3. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 whole weeks. I ate no pleasant bread. No meat or wine came into my mouth. I didn't anoint myself at all until 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. Jonah 3:5. The people of Nineveh believed God, and they proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth, from their greatest even to their least. Judges 20:26. Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came to Bethel and wept and sat there before Yahweh and fasted that day until evening. Then they offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before Yahweh. Exodus 34:28. He was there with Yahweh 40 days and 40 nights. He neither ate bread nor drank water. He wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 Commandments. Nehemiah 9:1. Now in the 24th day of this month, the children of Israel were assembled with fasting, with sackcloth. Jeremiah 36:9. Now in the 5th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, in the 9th month, all the people in Jerusalem and all the people who came from the cities of Judah to Jerusalem proclaimed a fast before Yahweh. Second Samuel 12:16-17. And David fasted and went in and lay all night on the ground. The elders of his house arose beside him to raise him up from the earth, but he would not, and he didn't eat bread with them. Second Samuel 1:11-12. Then David took hold on his clothes and tore them, and all the men who were with him did likewise. They mourned, wept, and fasted until evening, for Saul and for Jonathan his son, and for the people of Yahweh, and for the house of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. Second Chronicles 20:3-4. Jehoshaphat was alarmed and set himself to seek Yahweh. He proclaimed a fast throughout all Judah. Judah gathered themselves together to seek help from Yahweh. They came out of all the cities of Judah to seek Yahweh. Luke 5:34-35. He said to them, "Can you make the friends of the bridegroom fast while the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them. Then they will fast in those days." In everything and in all things I have learned the secret, both to being filled and to be hungry, both to abound and to be in need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.